Hello everybody, my name is Getty212 and welcome back to Pokémon Fire Red. Last time, we traded a Golduck for a relatively mediocre Pokémon in the form of Lickitung, and then we flew back over to the power plant and used our surf to get there and catch ourselves a few new Pokémon, including the legendary Zapdos. This time, we have a few items of business that I would like to take care of before we go on the major next step of our journey. So, bear with me as I do a little bit of cutting for the various things that we need to do. First of all, I want to go back to the power plant because there is a certain Pokemon that I need to catch in preparation for our next step. And it will make sense once I find it. Oh, there we go. God. Raitoshi, you're too good. When in doubt, just throw a Great Ball. Literally did nothing but that on the second attempt. And I don't just want to catch Pikachu just to have another Pikachu around. I actually want to go the full 9 yards with this. And I want to use the Thunderstone that we got at the power plant and evolve this Pikachu. That's one of the Pokemon that I recommend that you get before we go on our next step. Now, the other Pokemon I recommend that you have on hand is Venonat. You'll need these two Pokemon to do a certain thing later on, and so I highly recommend that you have a Raichu and Venonat handy. Next, I went back into Rock Tunnel, and I want to talk to this kid again. When you're up on a rocky mountain like this, rock slides are a threat. Can you imagine boulders tumbling down on you? That'd be like, wah! Total terror! You don't seem to be scared. You want to try using Rock Slide? Yes, I do. I thought long and hard about it, and there is actually a Pokemon that I want to teach Rock Slide to. And that Pokemon is Rockly. We've had fun with Rock Tomb, and while Rock Tomb does have the advantage of lowering speed of the opponent, it's also weaker than Rock Slide and is less accurate. So I think, all things considered, this is a straight upgrade. We'll get rid of Rock Tomb. And now we have Rock Slide. Might be scary to use it in this tunnel. That is true, which is why I'm going to get out of here and get to the next item of business. Our next bit of business takes us all the way back to Pewter City, which is the third city that we could go to in the game. Now that we have the ability to use cut, I want to cut this tree down. With that out of the way, we can now go into the side entrance of the museum, or the back entrance, depending on how you want to view it, and we can talk to the people back here. The secrets of space, the mysteries of Earth. There's so many things about which we know so little, but that should spur us to study harder, not toss in the towel. The only thing you should toss, well, how about Seismic Toss? Should I teach that to a Pokemon? So he will teach you the move Seismic Toss. As I've talked about before, Seismic Toss is a move that deals damage equal to the user's level. So if it's being used from a Pokemon that's level 5, then it will deal 5 points of damage. If it's dealt by Pokemon's level 100, it will deal 100 points of damage, and then any respective value in between that. I personally am not going to be teaching this to any of my Pokemon, but if you want to teach Seismic Toss to a Pokemon, you need to talk to this guy to do it. That's so. I'm sure he'll be back for it. That's relatively fair. We have 2 fossils of rare prehistoric Pokemon on exhibit. Okay. What happens if we talk to the guy from behind? You can't sneak in the back way. Nice try, kid, but no. Oh, whatever. Do you know what amber is? No. Amber is actually sap, that gooey stuff that oozes from trees. The ancient sap fossilized over time to become rock hard amber. Interesting. And what do you have to say, scientist man? Shh, listen. I need to share a secret with someone. I think that this chunk of amber contains Pokémon DNA. It would be a shattering scientific breakthrough if Pokémon could be resurrected from it. But my colleagues just ignore what I have to say. So I have a favor to ask. I want you to get this examined at a Pokémon lab somewhere. We received the old amber from the man. Shh, get the old amber checked. Okay, so we've gotten the old amber. We take a look at it in our bag. Old amber, a piece of amber that contains the genes of an ancient Pokemon. It is clear with a reddish tint. And our wayward journey of random business takes us all the way back to Pallet Town. So you might be thinking, oh, he asked us to go to a Pokemon lab, so we need to talk to Professor Oak, right? That's not quite why we need to go to Pallet Town. The reason we actually want to go to Pallet Town is because now that we have the ability to surf, we can now go on this body of water that sticks out from the bottom of the town. So I'm actually going to change up my party a little bit, just bearing in mind what comes before us. And we are going to surf. And now we are on Route 21. And you'll notice that there is this patch of grass here due south of Pallet Town. In this patch of grass, there is one new Pokemon that we can find here. And that is Tangela. Going into Tangela as a Pokemon, Tangela is the only pure grass Pokemon out of the original 151. Every other grass Pokemon is a grass type and then some other combination, most commonly grass poison. While Tangela does have pretty good defense and really good special attack, it doesn't have the best moveset. It learns Vine Whip at level 22, which it should know by now. It learns Bind at level 28, Mega Drain at level 31, which is okay. But then it learns Stun Spore at level 37, Slam at level 40, which it does not benefit from at all between its stats and its type. And of all things, at level 46, it learns the move Tickle, which, while you're relatively unique and makes relative amount of sense for Tangela, is just a move that lowers the opponent's attack and defense stats. For a late game move, that's not something that you really want to see, especially considering that it still doesn't really benefit Tangela. And it's very difficult to use in general just because it's very frail when it comes to its special defense, and it is also very slow. However, if you are willing to commit some TMs to Tangela, it can actually be pretty decent. When it's caught, it will have the ability Chlorophyll, which doubles its speed whenever it is in the harsh sunlight weather. We haven't really been seeing harsh sunlight up until now, and it's going to be a little bit before we see it, but trust me, when we see it, you'll see it. Chlorophyll doubling Tangela's speed can actually turn it into a pretty decent sweeper, and if you're willing to commit some TMs like Giga Drain or Solar Beam, Tangela can become a pretty good glass cannon. In this game, Tangela does not evolve into Tangrowth, so what you see here is what you get. But it's still a very interesting looking Pokemon, and it is unique for being, weirdly enough, the only pure grass type that we can really catch right now. If you want it, great, but at this point in the game, you've already seen plenty of grass types that can do what Tangela can do, only better, even though they are not pure grass types. Now, let's actually try to catch this thing. Ooh, critical hit. Alright, well, that's about as close as we're reasonably going to get, so let's throw a Great Ball and get this thing caught already. And like that, Tangela was caught. Tangela, the vine Pokemon. Blue plant vines cloak the Pokemon's identity in a tangled mass. It entangles anything that gets close. As always, if you want to give a nickname to Tangela, feel free to recommend one in the comments. Now, do bear in mind that this is the only patch of grass that you can find Wild Tangela in. There will be one other way to catch a Tangela that we'll be getting into relatively soon, but this is the only location in the game where you can find a Wild Tangela. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's get back to surfing, and we're going to head even further south. And run to a wild Pokemon. So we got a little island here. We can see that there are different fishermen fishing on these islands. I got a big haul. Want to go for it? Not really, but I figure why not. Oh god. No. No. Guys, this is the guy. This is the man who has 6 Magikarp. Yep, it's just Magikarp all day. It's Magikarp. There's always one trainer in every game that for some reason just has 6 Magikarp and nothing else. It's really weird. It's really pointless. It's a huge waste of time. Because Magikarp don't even give that much experience. Yep, more Magikarp, every day, Magikarp. Oh, what a waste of time. Magikarp don't just make the grade, do they? Yeah, they don't. Why did you get 6 Magikarp, dude? Anyway, what do you have to say? Please tell me you have something other than Magikarp. You want to know if the fish are biting? No, I want to know if you have anything other than Magikarp. I don't need to see more of those. Seeking! Okay, that is definitely not Magikarp. Well, I guess it's technically an upgrade, because we went from 6 Magikarp to 4 Seeking. It's at least somewhat worth my time. Dang! Can't catch anything good. Not one good Pokemon to be had. Well, at least you're not like the other guy who has 6 Magikarps. Boy, is that guy terrible. Huh? A battle? Ian, can't you do it alone? Oh, come on, lady. Go up with your brother. He got the lovely little hand-holding sprite and everything. Ooh, Seadra and Starmie. See, these are actually good water Pokemon. Ah, Kaiser grew to level 40. Very nice. Sis and Bro Lil and Ian have been defeated. Oh, see, we lost. Happy now? If you combine their names, it would be Lillian. Huh. Wonder if that's on purpose. Oh well, nothing can be done about it now. Oh, hello. The sea cleanses my body and soul. Well, at least you're not being all philosophical and depressing like the last guys. Ooh, Tentacruel. I believe this is our first time seeing Tentacruel. Always looks really cool, no matter what game it's in. Hiya! The sea is great and all, but I like the mountains too. Well, that's a bit of a far cry from the sea, but hey, you know, to each their own. Alright, we got another fisherman here. Hello. Hey, don't scare with a fish! Are there really fish, or are there just Pokemon that look like fish? How do we distinguish one from the other? Yeah, it really kind of goes to show how effectively they can make a black ball with eyes have so many different personalities depending on where you put it and what you surround it with. Sorry, I'm just so frustrated from not catching anything. That's fair, dude. That's totally fine. You got some good Pokemon with you. Cloyster's a pretty good Pokemon. It has decent defenses, but we'll talk about that another time. What do you have, guy? Keep me company until I get a hit. If you wanted company, why did you go out into the middle of an isolated island in the middle of the ocean? Oh my god, really? Got 5 Fury attacks and each one just increased the odds of getting hit by static. Oh my goodness. That burned some time. Well, you're not wrong. Definitely burned sometime. Alright, let's have another island. This one's relatively isolated, but there are also some swimmers here. They can't see me if I'm on an island, but the second I step in water, they instantly see me. I caught my Pokemon at sea! Ooh, he's also got a Starmie. And it's a pretty decently high level Starmie. All things considered, anyway. Diver! Down! Where'd you catch your Pokemon? various. Oh! Ah! Feel the sun in the wind. But we're surrounded by water. You want me to feel the sun and the wind, but not the thing that we're surrounded by at all times? He's got a Poliwhirl. I know we've seen Poliwhirl, but it just doesn't come up very often. Oh, Kaiser grew to level 41. Lovely. Looks like we'll have to switch on the experience share with someone else. Yo, I lost. Okay, not the best Pokemon, but not the worst Pokemon. A lot of Seadras. Yet another island that we could fish off of. And yet another man that will instantly see me only when I get into the water. Right now, I'm in a triathlon meet. Oh yeah, the triathlon. It's not really brought up here, but in the Hoenn region, there actually is a legitimate triathlon going on during your journey, and it's actually pretty cool because you see all three different kinds of triathletes in different areas depending on what they're doing. Big turtle meet bigger turtle. Pants is always weird. Alright, well, never mind. And, gah! Okay, I can't botch this up now. Alright, welcome to Cinnabar Island, one of the most southern regions of the Kanto, well, region. There's a lot of stuff for us to do, and now that we have finally made it here, I think that's a good enough stopping point. So next time on Pokémon Fire Red version, we're gonna explore Cinnabar Island and see all that it has to offer. Cause trust me, there's a lot for us to do here. See you guys then!